Have you ever watched your plans completely fall apart just because you were missing one tiny piece of paper? Well, welcome to this explainer. Navigating Utah's birth certificate system can honestly feel like being tangled in a web of endless red tape. But today, we're going to decode that bureaucracy. We're going to empower you to confidently secure your official vital records online. Let's conquer the system together right now.
I want you to picture this for a second. You spent weeks planning this amazing international trip. Or maybe you're standing in a mile-long line at the DMV. Or you're finally getting ready to enroll your kid in a new school. You finally get to the front of the line, and the clerk looks at you and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, we can't accept this without an official birth certificate." And just like that, boom, your plans are ruined and you're sent all the way back to square one. It's incredibly frustrating, right?
Well, that frustration exists because a certified birth certificate isn't just a regular piece of paper. It literally holds immense power. It is your ultimate proof of identity and U.S. citizenship. Without it, the doors to getting a passport, securing a driver's license, applying for certain jobs, or even claiming Social Security benefits, they remain firmly locked. This document is the absolute foundation upon which the rest of your legal identity is built. So, here's our foolproof roadmap for today. We're going to cover why you need this record, eligibility and required identification, step-by-step online ordering, costs and processing times, troubleshooting application issues, and finally, some FAQs and a final disclaimer. Okay, let's dive into Section 1, why you need this record.
Why does getting your hands on your own birth certificate feel like breaking into a bank vault? Well, the simple answer is protection. You see, to safeguard citizens from identity theft and financial fraud, Utah law draws a very distinct legal boundary. They lock these records down, making them non-public for exactly 100 years from the date of birth. It's only after a full century that these records enter the public domain at the state archives. Until then, this highly restricted document is your mandatory key for things like Social Security, passports, and school enrollment.
Moving on to Section 2, eligibility and required identification. So in Utah, you can't just order a vital record for anybody off the street. You're legally allowed to request a certificate for yourself or for your immediate family members. And this strictly means a parent, sibling, spouse, child, grandparent, or grandchild. That is it. It's absolutely crucial to note here that step-parents, in-laws, and ex-spouses are strictly prohibited from ordering the record. If you fall outside that immediate family circle, your request is going to get denied, no exceptions. And this brilliantly illustrates what you need to actually prove that eligibility. You've got to have your ID ready before you even start the application. You're going to need either one primary ID, so something like a non-expired driver's license or a passport that hasn't been expired for over 90 days, or two secondary IDs. That could be a Social Security card paired with a utility bill, for example. Having these ready to go is literally the #1 way to prevent your application from getting rejected. All right, Section 3, step-by-step online ordering. Let's get into the actual process. But wait, first we really need to clear up a very common point of confusion, especially for new parents. So the crucial point is this: filling out that parental worksheet at the hospital right after birth, that only registers the event with the state's vital statistics database. It does absolutely not mean a physical birth certificate is automatically going to be mailed to your house. You still have to actively go and purchase a certified copy yourself. A lot of folks get tripped up on that. So, when you are ready to make that purchase, here is your step-by-step game plan. Step 1, access an authorized portal. In Utah, this is the state's official silver portal, or you can use the authorized national vendor, VitalCheck. Please be careful to avoid unauthorized third-party vendors. They're just going to overcharge you, and they can't actually process your request anyway. Step 2, input the full name, date, and place of birth, and the parents' legal names. Step 3, make your secure payment. And Step 4, submit that identity verification we just talked about.
Next up, Section 4, costs and processing times.
Taking a look at this fee schedule from the Utah Department of Health and Human Services, you can see that a standard certificate is going to run you about $25. And any additional copies ordered at the exact same time, those are just $10 each. But if you're doing something a bit more complex, like, say, updating the certificate to reflect a court-ordered name change, the total fee bumps up to $50 to cover that amendment filing. An adoption amendment processing fee brings the total to $65. And keep in mind, these are just the base fees. Small credit card or digital transaction surcharges will often apply at checkout, so don't let that surprise you. Now, as for the timeline, patience is definitely key here. If you place your order online on day 1, you should expect the automated identity verification process to take somewhere between 2 to 4 business days. From there, standard processing and mail delivery usually means you'll have the physical certificate in your hands by week 3. Of course, if you're in a rush, expedited shipping options like UPS Next Day Saver are usually available for an extra fee. Honestly, that's highly recommended if you want to track your package and get peace of mind.
All right, let's move on to Section 5, Troubleshooting Application Issues. This is where things get interesting.
Now, what's really interesting about this is that in any bureaucratic system, you are inevitably going to hit some boss battles. Those common formatting errors and system blocks that can just completely derail an online application. What happens if the automated verification system, which is run by LexisNexis, by the way, simply fails to verify you? Maybe you recently moved or your public records are just a bit sparse, and the system throws up an error locking you out. Do you just throw your hands up and give up? Absolutely not. Here is a secret bypass protocol derived right from the state's system manuals. If the automated LexisNexis system blocks you, just click the Save and Continue button 2 additional times. It sounds crazy, but this actually forces the system to bypass the automated block so you can finish paying for your order. Now keep in mind, the state won't release the record quite yet. You have to immediately take a clear photo of your physical ID, write down your new silver order number, and email both of those directly to vrequest@utah.gov. This triggers a manual review by a real human clerk who will then push your order right through. There are 2 other massive roadblocks you might hit. First, if the online form demands a second parent's name, but that parent is unknown or maybe omitted from the record, do not leave that field blank. The system will automatically reject it. Instead, you need to literally type the word none in both the first and last name fields. Second thing, if you live out of state and the form asks for a Utah driver's license number, leave that specific field completely blank. This forces their system to look at your alternative data points, like your out-of-state address, to actually verify you. Which brings us to our final part, Section 6, FAQs and a final disclaimer. Did you know there is an official provision in Utah code that ensures vulnerable populations aren't blocked by financial barriers? It's true. Fees are completely waived for homeless individuals and youth in the custody of the Division of Child and Family Services. To process this online, an approved shelter or agency uses their organizational subscriber account in the Silver portal to place the order. Then, they just email a specific fee waiver verification form directly to the state. It's honestly a fantastic program that ensures everyone has access to their own identity. Let's hit 2 really quick, frequent questions. First, what about home births? Well, if a midwife assisted, they handle the registration for you. But if not, the parents must call the Utah Office of Vital Records within 10 days of the birth to register it manually. Second question, what on earth is an apostille? Well, if you're getting married, adopting, or working internationally, a standard certificate just isn't going to cut it. You need an apostille, which is basically a special authentication verifying the document for foreign countries. That whole process is handled separately by the Utah Authentications Office. Now, before you rush off to begin your application, I do have to give you a standard disclaimer. While we've definitely covered the ultimate roadmap today, you have to remember that bureaucratic rules, fees, and procedures are always subject to change by the state legislature or the Department of Health and Human Services. Because of that, it is absolutely crucial that you always double-check the latest details, forms, and fees directly at vitalrecords.utah.gov, just to ensure complete accuracy. And that brings us to the end of our explainer. I really want to leave you with this thought. Your vital identity is the key to your future. Keep it secure and know exactly how to unlock it. Now that you know the rules and you've got the secret workarounds in your back pocket, ask yourself, is your 100-year privacy lock truly secure? And are you fully prepared for the next time the system asks for your papers? Thanks so much for learning with me today, and best of luck securing your records.